Howdy there, young and Silver Mongoose here, and welcome back to another episode. Now today I want to share a little bit of an art project with you guys, but first I need to give you a bit of a background on it. Now whenever I was in university, I didn't really have that much time to play games. I sometimes would go for weeks without playing, and whenever I did finally play games, sometimes it would only be for an hour or two. Now I'm a strong believer that how you play a video game is very important. Some games were meant to be played certain ways to be fully enjoyed. There was one game that I was saving for whenever I graduated from university because it's a very special game and I wanted to play it a certain way, and that game is Shenmue. Now, whether you like it or not, if you know anything about video games, you know that Shenmue is something special. It's something different. It's a very different experience, and I wanted to experience it the best way possible, and for me that was by playing it pretty much every single day, giving it my full attention. So after I graduated, I would wake up an hour or two before my fiancée every single morning and go into the basement and play Shenmue for a couple of hours before she woke up. So I was just by myself, I was just in the zone, just playing Shenmue. And in 2 weeks, I was done the game, and wow, what an experience. I absolutely loved Shenmue. It was so fantastic. Now I could guess about how much I love Shenmue for quite some time. That's not what this video is about. I just wanted to share one thing about it that I do love because it's related to this project, and that is the details. Now in Shenmue, there's a lot of fine details. You know, you can go into people's houses and go through drawers and look at books and stuff and go in your closet and pick up an orange and turn it around and look at it. And a lot of these details, for the most part, are pretty pointless, technically speaking. They don't do anything for the game other than add to the atmosphere of Shenmue and really help you immerse into the world. And a good example of this is the convenience store. You can go into the convenience store and there's lots of items there. Most of them are actually next to useless. They serve no purpose, no real purpose in the game. You could probably beat the whole game without even going into that store. The one thing you can buy in those stores are audio cassettes, because for those that don't know, Shenmue takes place in the 80s. And you can buy these cassette tapes and you can listen to them in your Sega branded cassette player or at Tom's hot dog stand. And again, listening to these cassette tapes or buying these cassette tapes don't really do anything for the story. They don't help it progress. But it adds to the immersion of the game, and that's why I loved it. So whenever I was done with Shenmue, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool if I could actually have one of those tapes? So what I did was I actually set out to make one. And I ended up making 3. I made Flower Girl, MJQ Jazz Bar, and Antiquity Tree. So how I made these was I first picked some of the covers of the cassettes in the game that I liked. This one, Antiquity Tree, I picked because there's a wonderful grammar and spelling mistake on there. It says, "The tree known by its fruit, you cannot judge of a tree by its bark." So that's a good old-fashioned English right there. So I took these covers and I made a cassette sleeve design, sent it off to my brother who does Photoshop and all that stuff. He cleaned it up, sent it back to me, and I printed it off and then put it in an empty cassette case. Now, die-hard fans of Shenmue will notice that this doesn't look identical to the tapes in the game. In the game, the back is completely black, and this part back here, which is white, is actually just a repeat of the spine. But I wanted to look more like a real cassette tape, so I added some things of my own there. If you look on the inside here, I just added, the producer, Shenmue symbol, and just some stuff about Dolby sound reduction and all that. So I also added the barcode here and Sega Enterprises, and I also added a song list. Now in the game, each cassette only plays one song. So if you buy the cassette Antiquity Tree, you can only listen to Antiquity Tree. Now that makes sense in the game for collecting purposes, but in real life that doesn't make much sense. So what I did was I took all the songs you can get on cassette in the game, put them on a CD, and then copy them from the CD onto a cassette tape. So each cassette tape actually has all the songs you can get on cassette in the game. So it has, Antiquity Tree, Harbor Bar, Linda, MJQ Jazz Bar, the Space Harrier theme. So all those songs are on these cassettes, and you can actually listen to them on a tape player if you want, and get that authentic 80s white noise in the background there. So I was showing these cassette tapes to a friend of mine who also loves Shenmue, and he suggested that I make a video about this, and maybe the fans of Shenmue will get a real kick out of it. The reason I made these is because whenever I was playing Shenmue, I loved it so much, and whenever I was done, I kind of wanted to express how much I liked it, creatively, and this is kind of what came out of it. And now I have a little piece of Shenmue inside my house at all times. So I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at my Shenmue cassette tapes. This has been SilverMongooseVideos. Until next time.